Hello everyone, welcome to JoyRip Daily News. This is Hannah and today I will update you on the latest information of the steel industry. The Indian government's push to strengthen domestic electric vehicle manufacturing may lead to increased involvement of Chinese automotive companies in the local market. As reported by the Global Trade Research Initiative, China's robust automotive industry, backed by substantial government support, especially in EV technology, has positioned it as a leading exporter of EVs and components. As India aims to become an EV production hub, the report anticipates a surge in reliance on auto component imports from China. In the fiscal year 2022 and 2023, India imported $20.3 billion worth of auto components, with China contributing 30%. With China holding 70% of global battery production capacity and dominating over 50% of EV production and export. The report forecast that in the future, approximately one-third of the electric vehicles on Indian roads could soon originate from Chinese manufacturers, either independently or through joint ventures with Indian counterparts. The U.S. Department of Commerce adjusted the final results on the administrative review of the anti-dumping duty order on certain cold-rolled steel flat products from South Korea to correct a ministerial error during the period of review. On the 1st of September 2021 through August 31st of 2022, the weighted average dumping margin on Hyundai Steel Company was corrected from 0.88% to 1.35%, and KG Dongbu Steel Corporation was amended from 2.13% to 2.28%. The measure was effective from March 28, 2024. In the first quarter, the London Metal Exchange nickel price totally increased by $146 per ton, slightly growing by 0.88%. Meanwhile, the total increase in nickel inventory at LME was 13,092 tons, soaring by 20.4%. The market participants pointed out that the steel market in China resumed slowly, and the nickel supply exceeded demand. Plus, the U.S. Personal Consumption Expenditure Price Index stayed at a high level. The chance of an interest rate cut was little before June in the short term. As a result, the nickel price was forecasted to keep fluctuating on the low side. In recent years, huge investment projects in steel production have entered Southeast Asia. According to statistics, from 2023 to 2026, there will be 17 steel projects, including new and expanded projects in Southeast Asia involving steel production of 89.2 million tons and pig iron production of 44.8 million tons. Specifically, the newly added production capacity projects are mainly concentrated in Malaysia, Indonesia, and Vietnam, involving steel production capacity of 21.7 million tons, 26.5 million tons, and 15 million tons, accounting for a total of 84%. Among them, there are 10 projects that have China's participation, which will be the main recipient of domestic steelmaking capacity in the future. The regions that have been put into production in 2023 include Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines, with a total steel production capacity of 6.2 million tons. Indonesia will press on with plans to expand nickel output despite a supply glut that is forcing rivals to shut down mines, as the world's top producer aims to keep prices low and protect long-term demand on the metal crucial to electric car batteries, a senior government official has said. The country's production capacity for battery-grade nickel was expected to quadruple to 1 million tons by 2030, said an investment and mining ministry official. Capacity for nickel pig iron, which is used to make stainless steel, was projected to expand by up to 15% in the 3 years, from the current 1.9 million tons. Trading activity in the European high-carbon ferrochrome market remains low last week, according to Metal Shop Intelligence Service, as the market put pressure on prices. Buyers are often negotiating discounts, although first mover offers remain relatively stable. Metis estimated high carbon ferrochrome in the range of 1.4 to 1.75 US dollar per pound of chrome. Deals at lower levels as extremely rare. Offers from India fell to 1.2 to 1.26 US dollar per pound. Chrome CIF Rotterdam. In the low-carbon ferrochrome market this week, buyers are moving away from Russian products and have begun to check the origin of materials more carefully. The current dynamics are expected to push the low-carbon ferrochrome prices in Europe up to 2.6 US dollar per pound of chrome DDP, up from the recent level of 2.35 US dollar per pound. Australian mining company Centaurus Metals said that its Jaguar nickel sulfide project in Brazil is undergoing a feasibility study and aims to start production in mid-2027. Jaguar, bought from Brazilian mining firm Vale in 2020, is estimated to hold 109 million tons of 0.87% grade nickel for an estimated 948,900 metric tons of contained nickel. The nickel product will be largely targeted at the Atlantic market, with expectations that demand will strengthen in the region. Russia's Nornickel, the world's largest palladium producer and a major producer of high-grade nickel, said on Friday that some clients in the European Union has refused to buy products made with Russian metals. Although Nornickel itself and its metals is not a target of Western sanctions, some consumers are voluntarily shunning deals for its metal and of products made from Russian raw materials. Nornickel finished Hardata Vonta plant, which produces battery materials in Europe for electric vehicles, was affected, to cite as an example of the rejection of products made from Russian materials. We've come to the end of our video. Thank you for choosing us to stay informed. See you tomorrow.